Welcome back to another video, and it's y'all's favorite video, Saturday driving. I know it seems like every Saturday I'm on the road. Trust me, I feel you. I agree with you. Between my side business and passive income projects and stuff like that, just a lot of hustling. For passive income, that's not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be doing a lot of work at it. It is a lot of work, but I guess part of it is you're setting it up so that it can eventually become, I guess, more passive would be the word. A lot of things going on with Wingbits right now, and I know I've did a lot of videos on them, but I'm just trying to convey that I think this is going to be, again, none of my videos are financial advice, but I think this is going to be a big project. So take a quick ride. I'm coming back from Baton Rouge and had to go do a couple other things. So before this goes any further, if y'all can please just like this video, take a second for me please and hit that thumbs up for me. It helps out a lot. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Please make sure you also check out my Twitter. So my Twitter is @GrumpyDad56 or X, whatever you want to call it this week. I'm trying to do more uploads on that, trying to get some quicker news that's out there. When I don't have time to do a full video, trying to share that, and those subscribers are really lacking. If I can get any of y'all to please subscribe to that, I appreciate it. I know since my videos during the week, it has increased some, so thank y'all for doing that. Also, my other YouTube page or my other YouTube channel, Grumpy Dad Outdoors, I have a link in the description. Please also, check that out, subscribe to it, help me out. That one's really lacking in subscribers. And I had people in the beginning who asked me for those kind of videos on how we do it in South Louisiana with fishing and cooking and hunting and different things like that. And I haven't really uploaded a lot of videos. I have a lot more planned. It's just that we're so busy right now with all this passive income project stuff. My days off when I could be fishing or doing, other things like that, is spent working on these passive income projects. Trust me, I wish I was fishing today. It's a good day to go fishing. Get some cloud cover and stuff like that. It's about it's 91 degrees with 93% humidity right now. So it's a little warm. So I'm coming from Baton Rouge. If y'all followed any of my previous Saturday videos at all, my Baton Rouge building that I have a miner on top of, they swapped over to a fiber provider for better internet. That fiber provider only put a modem in, not a modem router combo, so you would say, and actually it's not even a modem because it's fiber. I don't want nobody to correct me. It's, they have an ONT, and the ONT, I had put my own router there to help the guy out because he really doesn't have anything. That's what I do for that. This building is, I help provide them with some IT support. They got some building lights that they can control. If LSU's playing a big game, they can make it purple and gold. If it's, and different things going on like that. Veterans Day, they can make it red, white, blue and stuff like that. I help them with that kind of, the IT stuff. Also, some boiler room stuff needs internet and things like that, and I help them, with routing and different things like that. Well, somebody went in there 2 weeks ago and screwed something up, and the fiber was completely down. I had to put an AT&T FirstNet, AT&T MiFi to get my device that's up there. I have a Sense Cap with Bit Harvest running on it, so I'm running 4 or 5 projects up there, and they finally contacted me last week and said that they got all the fiber and internet issues fixed and stuff like that. So I went to go grab my MiFi out of there and put it on that fiber, because that fiber has a little bit better, of course, speed and throughput and bandwidth and everything like that. So I'm coming from Baton Rouge. That was actually, for a rare occasion for me, that was a very easy swap out. I just strictly unplugged the AT&T MiFi's got its own Ethernet plug on it. so you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi and stuff like that. It plugs directly into it. So we got that up and running. What am I working on next? It's always something. I have to go now to another place. I got a device, and I'm getting 0 airplanes on it, which is weird because normally in the past, whenever the little SDRs fail, you normally have you know, some type of error on your TAR 1090 screen. I don't have that. I have just 0 airplanes. And I've seen before where when a good working SDR does not have the feed line plugged in correctly, maybe because you used an old Helium line and didn't put a converter, you still get 3 or 4 airplanes when they're directly over you. I'm getting 0, constant 0. So if this SDR fails, first I'm gonna be very upset, but second, this will be the first time I see one with 0 airplanes. I've tried power cycling it. I've tried doing different things to try to change the gain a little bit just to see if that changed anything. It's getting 0, nil, nothing, flat. I will say this is how things always seem to change around here. Y'all know for over a year since I've been with this previous project that I do not mention anymore, because scam or not, I'm not even gonna give them the clout anymore of even mentioning their name. Ever since then, I have always pushed these green SDRs from Air, I think it's AirNav or whatever, Radar Box or whatever, from Amazon. One reason I did that is because they're inexpensive and they can come in within 2 days. And if you had problems within the first 30 days or whatever, you can simply return it to Amazon, no questions asked, and get it swapped out for a new one. But if this green SDR fails, this will be my 3rd SDR in about a month that has failed. I had one fail literally last week. I went swapped that one out, and I don't know what's going on with it, but when you plug it into any Pi, it shuts the Pi down. I don't know if there's some kind of short or something in it. I've tried it on 3 different Pis. When you plug it in, it shuts that Pi down. It doesn't work anymore. It make the Pi have one little light, no more network. You lose access to it. It's almost like there's a short or something that's shorting the USB thing out. Tried on 3 different versions, 3 different Pis that were in my office that were working at the time. So I chunked that one. And then now I got possibly this one. I had one that went out. It's probably been 4 or 5, 6 weeks, but another one that went out after some bad weather we had, and that one gave the error on the bottom that said, you know, no server found or something like that. And when I tried it in 2 or 3 different ones, didn't work. Replaced that one, and it worked fine. But I can't keep recommending these green SDRs if this is what's going to happen. My issue right now is I don't know what to start recommending. The blue FlightAware ones that you get from the FlightAware website so far. Look, I'm doing a lot of testing right now with SDRs. It's funny how this is all happening at the same time. Y'all, if y'all watched my previous videos, I've gotten a cavity filter in from one of the guys that's on the Discord, and it seems to be a good cavity filter, but is it overkill? I've been testing that out at the same time when this stuff's going on. I got one of the other blue SDRs that's on Amazon. I think it's ADSB Exchange. I had people talking about that one that was good because it's all metal cased and stuff like that. So far, those tests have not been that good on that. I couldn't even run the test with no cavity filter, even though it's supposed to have a filter inside of it. But I don't want to give away that whole testing thing because I'm going to do a big video on that. But like right now, I'm working on, I'm probably going to take off during the week from work to go set up another hosted Wingbit station in down south, deep down south Louisiana, which literally this guy's fishing camp is literally on the Gulf. When he walks outside of his camp, you walk 20 feet one direction and your feet's in the water of the Gulf. So therefore, me becoming Gestapo of the Gulf, as I joke around. Nobody get their feelings hurt, and nobody get offended. It's a joke. Godfather of the Gulf. I want to cover the entire Gulf. I want my hexes to cover from Florida to Texas to Cuba. And this is one thing I think I'll be able to accomplish. There are a lot of helicopters offshore going to these oil rigs. And a lot of my stations, only one of my stations can really pick them up, and still not picking up the amount that these helicopters are out there. But I know they're out there. I know they're running ADS-B 1090 because I do occasionally pick them up. They just don't stay in range that long. This will be able to suck all that up. So I'm excited to get that one up. And again, I'm taking off of work to get that done. I have July 1st, our vacation recycles, and I will lose, because I don't take enough vacation. I take it during hunting season. That's about it. But and I've been here 28 years, so I get a lot of bonus time every July 1st. But I'm gonna lose a chunk of vacation if I don't take it. So I'm taking a day to go down to Grand Isle, set this station up. I just don't know about the internet yet. That's the only thing I got to figure out. I might have to deploy the same card out there until I figure out something more long term. But I'm gonna make sure. I need to also make a checklist. I have an issue where when I go install these things, it seems that I always forget something. I always get, and then now that I'm starting to do these installs in more remote locations. All right, had to fix my camera a little bit, but now that I'm starting to do these installs in remote locations, there is no Home Depot or electronics store or my office that I keep, my tool bag and stuff like that. So I might need to start making a little checklist or something like that of making sure I have these items in before I leave. It's one thing when I was doing these installs at a friend's house or in this building when I can run back easily. But this fishing camp I'm going to in South Louisiana is going to be a 3.5. Even though I live in South Louisiana, my office is in South Louisiana. To get to us with the roads, it's a 2-lane highway for miles. This is going to be almost a 3-hour drive. I can't run back to the office, and I don't want to go run back later. I also I got to figure out what size box I need to order, because I also want to put some type of smart plug in it. So if I have to, even though I'm running cron jobs, if I still have to power cycle it, I don't want to have to worry about getting somebody down there to power cycle it. So I don't know if I'm gonna run some type of little PoE. I have some PoE switches I've gotten from Amazon where they have web addresses on them, so that you can just go into that web address and power cycle the switch, which then in turn power cycles the PoE on it. I have used those before. And I've also actually had the actual PoE switch itself too. I don't know yet, because I haven't decided what size box I'm going to get. But that's things you have to start thinking about when you start doing these host setups. I got this other setup that I'm dealing with my buddy in Texas. He's got some family stuff going on, and we've kind of been working it out over text, but we haven't finalized everything as far as, he's agreed to it. He knows what's going to be installed and stuff like that. Again, that's an 8-hour ride from here. I don't want to have to really drive down there if I don't have to. So I'm trying to be patient with him, and I'm trying to figure out where exactly I want to, he's like, show me where you want me to install it at. Behind his garage has a clear shot to the Gulf of Mexico from Corpus Christi, but I don't know if he has internet back there. Where he does have his office kind of window at, he has a gigantic oak tree. So it's those kind of things you got to figure out when you're doing any kind of remote installs. But I still got one I'm doing in Mississippi, one in Gulf Shores at some point. That also takes time. It's also going to take me taking the day off of work. But I know I'm getting long-winded at all this, and I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to show that this is going to be, in my opinion, not financial advice, a big project. And now that you're starting to see the testnet start, where you're starting to see the wings show up, and you're also starting to get a glimpse of, I might have a buddy that lives kind of close to me who may want to install a Wingbit station, but now that you can see your hexes and what you're covering and what other people are covering, putting another station close to my other ones would make no sense at this point. you know. And there's a lot of people who, and the reason I'm bringing this up is there's a lot of people who are in the Discord talking about adding a second station, you know, just relatively close to where they're at now. And what I'm finding is that there's no need to really, because you're cutting into the same hexes, where if I'm gonna do a second station, I would want to do it a significant amount of miles away somehow, possibly, so that I can try to cover additional hexes, you know, without giving it away. Because I mentioned this to somebody the other day, and now I found out they're working out deals with people to try to get in, and it's sad that it's like that, you know. And that's one thing as a YouTuber you have to kind of watch out is I mentioned certain places that I think are optimal spots that I plan on putting it as giving y'all content, and then I find out on Discord somebody's going out of their way to make arrangements with people in those areas to put stations up. Hey, it's a decentralized project. I completely understand that, but without getting in trouble with YouTube, it's still chicken manure. You know what I mean. But, and look, if those people happen to be putting a station around that area and just happen to be the same a week or two after I did a video mentioning those locations, then you know what? Congratulations to them. That's fine. But my point I'm getting at is, when you're setting up a station or a new station, or you want to do a second station, third station, go to the Wingbits website and see where there's a lack of planes at during the day. Go to the stations tab or the antennas tab on the map and see where there's large areas with no antennas at. That's where you want to be sticking antennas at for this project. And it helps the project out as they try to go sell this data to different customers. And look, I know I'm the last one to talk. When y'all look at Louisiana, I have stations stacked on top of each other. But I want y'all to know, when y'all look at Louisiana and y'all see that blob, that's not all me. I've had friends and family who were in Helium, friends and family who were in the other project we don't speak about no more. So why wouldn't they just swap over to Wingbits? It was simple, and if they were in the previous project, they already had the SDR, they already had the antenna, why wouldn't they swap to it? But I will say this, we're killing each other, because I have stations getting 150 and 200 airplanes sometimes, and they're barely getting 100 wings because those hexes have been cut up so bad. So, you know, anybody who comes to me now around here and asks about Wingbits, I'm telling them, figure out somewhere else to put it at. You got a hunting camp, a fishing camp, you got a buddy's house. You know, I had somebody who reached out to me last night asking about what kind of deals are we making with hosts. I'm gonna tell y'all, I was talking to Fluffy also last night. If y'all know Fluffy, I did the AMA with him. Fluffy is coming on to Wingbits also. I told him to get in the Discord and start talking to people. He's also on our Facebook page. If y'all need to really get into that also. But when I told him about this, he thought it was just the smartest, phenomenal decision ever. Is Wingbits has a tab on your wallet that you can check for host and pay your host directly from the wallet. And listen, if other projects have that, then y'all forgive me and I'm sorry, but I have not seen that before. I have not seen that with Helium or anything like that. I'm sure there might be some program somewhere that can do that. But in Wingbits directly, I can put my main wallet for my 6 stations I think I have. And then if one of those stations, like the one I'm putting up in Grand Isle, or the one I'm putting in Corpus Christi, I can tell that I'm telling my host, hey, this is a new project. All I'm putting is a little 26-inch antenna outside your house. We're gonna take the chance together. I don't know what it's gonna pay. We don't know what's gonna be the future of Wingbits, but from day one, give me your Solana, or like the guy in South Louisiana who don't know nothing about crypto. I helped him download a Phantom wallet, and I got his Phantom address, stuck it in that wallet as a host for that station, and whatever percentage we work out, when you check off host, it's going to ask you which percentage you want to send to them. So if you do a 60-40 split with them, you can put 40% in that host checked box area on the whatever station that person's hosting, and now that person will start getting, when this goes to mainnet, that person will start getting 40% of the Wings tokens. So you don't have to worry about transferring anything to them or anything like that. It's no, unless you want to work out some kind of cash deal or something like that. You know, I told somebody else, hey, if you let me put a station up, I'll pay you $25 a month. Helps pay for your internet a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna tell y'all, there's some places I'm looking at on the map that are completely devoid of any kind of airplanes. There is not a antenna anywhere around within hundreds of miles, and I'm trying to find a host for that now, and I'm willing to actually pay a decent amount of cash for those, and because I think that's going to be the ideal stupidly crazy setup. Now the problem is with those areas, and because I reached out to one person, is there's no internet there, and some of them places are so void of internet they don't even have cell phone service that you can even run a cell phone card. So that's, you know, and I'm not ready to put a Starlink on some of these spots yet. Now if I knew what Helium was going to be, I mean what Wingbits was going to be worth, I probably would, but I don't know that yet. So, but my point I'm getting at with all this long rant before I close this off and start a new, you know, chapter. I have chapters in my videos so that y'all don't have to listen to all these rants and stuff like that. But this is those early times of these projects. This is the stuff we have been waiting on. We've been waiting to get early in these projects, and this is when we want to be setting up our host stations and start expanding our stations before testnet, and before mainnet and that kind of stuff like that, because we're watching right now as we speak some of these projects in mainnet, and the rewards are dropping faster than I don't know what. Even I had somebody comment on my post, this is their words, not mine. GeoNet's having the same issue where prices falling, rewards are falling or whatever. You look at Demo. Demo is disgusting. I tell you all the time, I bought a Demo for around Christmas time, got it in around that time, and I still have not ROI'd on an $89 device. That is sad, stupidly sad. Honey is having, or Hive Mapper's having that same issue right now. Rewards going down, coin going down. What's the buying pressure? You know, that leads me into my next thing. I am WeatherXM. Congratulations to WeatherXM. Congratulations to those people who have been waiting that long for WeatherXM. So WeatherXM did the inevitable. Nobody gave them a chance. Nobody thought it would ever come. They finally hit mainnet. Congratulations to them. Last time I checked, the token was still holding over $1 value. I know myself, I'm making 3.2 or 3.3 tokens plus a little 0.2 bonus or something like that for being part of the beta for a little while. So that's getting me about $4 a day. Hey, $4 a day is more than I thought I'd be making WeatherXM. I've told y'all many times, I did not get in WeatherXM for Lambos. I got into WeatherXM because I am a weather nerd and I'm a crypto nerd. And when I can bridge both of those projects together, I think it's a cool deal. Once I know it's successful, I'm probably gonna do some more mainstream videos to friends and families, people like in the community of Weatherside, to say, hey, you know, this is a, you know, you have some of your weather people ever wanted to get into crypto, this might be a bridge. Again, not making Lambo type money, but I've seen Facebook post on our Facebook DPIN page. Again, if any of y'all want to get into it, there's a link in the description. But some people are making, you know, I think 2 or 3 bonus tokens because they've been in the beta for the beta went on for like 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least I've been hearing about WeatherXM that long. So, You know, some of these people are probably making $6-7 a day. You know, that's $200 a month if the token holds its price. But it, you know, one thing I worry about is the same thing like other people are saying. This isn't me being negative or anything like that. Is what's the buying pressure? You know, with Helium, when people bought the data and people wanted to use the service, Helium tokens were used for that. You know, those companies, when they were buying the data packages and everything like that, Helium was burnt and Helium was used and bought and different things like that. Is Demo not doing that? Is Honey or HiveMapper not doing that? Is WeatherXM going to do that? You can't just have this constant selling pressure, or we all know it's going to happen. And people aren't just going to come out and buy the token for no reason, just because maybe they feel really good about the project or something. Sure, there will be some people who buy it like that, but you know, I don't know. I've been telling people for the last 2 or 3 weeks on my Monday videos, if y'all catch my Monday videos when I do a recap of all the projects and updates of all the projects that we're all involved in, or people ask me about, is Demo right now. I'm telling people, I had somebody ask me just this week about Demo, and I'm telling them, if you really, you know, I think it's gonna be a good project, buy the token. The token is very low right now. Same thing with Honey, which is HiveMapper, and buy the token. With the token, and if it starts going up with this bull market starting up, you're gonna automatically be in profit. Where you look at me, who bought a Demo, and $89 later, I still have not ROI'd yet. So, you know, I don't know if I would go right now and spend $500 plus on a HiveMapper mapping. Hey, I could be wrong. I've been wrong about many projects in the past. You know, I told you I bought a Helium miner for $5,000 on eBay and ROI'd in 17 days. I thought I was a genius. So I started taking all them profits and bought 30 more Helium miners. And I ain't got nothing to show for it. So I seem to be always off on the timing of some of these things. But for WeatherXM, this has been a good thing for them. You know, people lost their, not a lot of people, but several people didn't read the emails that went out, the notifications that went out, the app notifications that went out, Discord stuff that went out. People aren't following this stuff, and then come Thursday, when their beta tokens, when they had, like me, almost 300 beta tokens, and they went to 0 to start mainnet, some of these people lost their minds, saying ugly things and accusing ugly things on Discord. And you know, I try to stay out of that and don't get involved in that mess, but that's the kind of stuff that makes me grumpy, is because you didn't follow directions, you didn't follow the notifications, you didn't do your homework, you didn't, you know, you're in a beta project, you didn't keep up with what's going on, and now you're accusing them of something wrong. You know, I was telling people for the last several Mondays, when I would go over HiveMapper, I mean, I'm sorry, when I go over WeatherXM on my project list, I told people I have 200 something beta tokens that ain't worth nothing. And people kept saying, oh no, they changed that. And, you know, especially when they started giving them the bonus tokens. Oh, that's why they're giving you bonus tokens, because you're gonna be holding on to those beta tokens. And, you know, I kept trying to tell people, I don't think that's correct. Oh, no, you're wrong. No, I wasn't wrong. And people lost their minds when they lost those beta tokens. And now they're complaining about, you know, the fact that over the next year or year and a half or whatever it is, all those beta tokens, all your beta stuff is going to be distributed over the next year and a half, whatever it is. And people are losing their minds. And they've been talking about that since they announced all the tokenomics. Like, I don't understand, you know, why people are so upset. My first step is I'd like the ROI on that. I don't remember what the hell I even paid for the device. $300 maybe. It was the Wi-Fi version. It sucks because it's got constant, if y'all have seen any of my videos on it, connectivity issues all the time. Even though my device is here on my desk, on top of my desk, and then there's a roof, and then right above my roof is where the station is now, no more than 20 feet away. And it can't stay connected. It's got dropouts all the time. where my Davis weather station at home is all the way in the back fence of my backyard. If y'all have ever seen the videos of my backyard, that's 120 feet from my back. I'm sorry, 140 feet from my back door. And then my station is about 20 feet from my back door in my house. So that's 160 feet through 2 walls, and never loses connection. Ever, never loses connection. I don't know what the difference is. From understanding, they've improved it for the new models and stuff like that. I don't know, but again, I'm not making this a negative Weather XM video. We're gonna stick with the positive for now. The positive is they're on mainnet. It's a great thing. People can start seeing some return on that stuff. Me, I'm not planning on cashing in any of those tokens. I'm not in it for the money. It's gonna be one of them things that I just let it sit. You know, I had somebody ask me, am I moving my Weather XM tokens from my app to my MetaMask wallet? I did it the first day when rewards dropped, just to test it, because it was the first time I imported and stuff like that. So if I'm gonna test it, I want to test it on 3.5 tokens and not 30 tokens. So I tested it and it worked fine. There was no problems. So I'll let it run after that. I'm just gonna let it sit after that. I'm sorry. On that, you know, it worked. I got my tokens on my MetaMask wallet, but after that, I'm not doing it every day. It's not gonna be like Helium, where every day Helium. But it's just a I know I've said this before, but it's just a habit that when I'm playing Call of Duty at night, I am downloading. You know, I also go to my Helium app. I download the 25 stations or so that I have online now, maybe 20. I don't even know what they are now. There's always one that's offline for some stupid reason, and eventually this comes back online. I don't even, you know, when they're making 40 cents a day, I don't even sweat it that much. But I think I got like 20 stations that are online, and I download those IoT and I immediately transfer them or swap them over to Solana. But these roads I'm on are bumpy as crazy. So anyway, what else? All right, so I just left one of my AMZORO locations, stocking some shelves and stuff like that. So I don't know where I really left off in this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover the best for last type of thing right here. And I'm being sarcastic because, you know, on my live video the other day, I brought up some political stuff. And listen, I'm into politics nowhere as heavy as I was years ago. And look, I'm the first one to tell you, and I know politics has broken friendships up, probably broken marriages up. Friends, families have probably broken up and quit talking over politics. I know it's a voodoo subject. And I just want to kind of clarify where I was coming from in the live. Is I'm not telling anybody who to vote for at all. I would almost say not of who not to vote for, but I am going to sit here and say, if you vote for Biden, you can't be for crypto. You had the guilty stuff with Trump the other day. Whether or not you agree with it, don't agree with it, doesn't matter at this point. At this point, I'm worried about crypto. Biden has now vetoed the crypto bill that everybody was so happy about. Even Democrats crossed the line and voted for this crypto bill. That's how fair it was. That's how much people approved of it. And yet he vetoes it. So I don't care who you vote for, but you cannot be into crypto, serious about crypto, and supporting Biden. That is what I'm coming from. I don't want to see 4 more years of Biden. And that's what I was trying to convey the other day in my live is Republicans have, even though they have not technically nominated Trump yet, because that nomination is not until July, is I was telling people before, the few times I did discuss it, was why are Republicans pushing Trump when they got all this baggage going on that he's going to have to deal with during this election time? And if he is too busy drowning in that kind of stuff, and that turns off potential middle of the line voters, are we going to hand Biden another 4 years? I don't think this economy can handle it. I don't think your checkbooks and my checkbooks and different things like that and wallets can handle Joe Biden's economy with $10 and $12 milk and everything else. That is what my concern is over politics, and that's the only thing, the reason I bring it up, is you can't look at this economy right now and say it's better in the last 3 years, 4 years, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to see that continue on. So it's not that I'm pro-Trump, against Trump, or anything like that, but it is a serious subject that has to be talked about, because it has, to me, and a lot of other people who are talking about it right now, major implications on what is going to happen in the crypto world, this upcoming bull run, and what's going to happen over the next 4 years. And I'm very concerned that Trump is going to have a problem with this Republican nominee thing and getting them, the last election, they discussed how the middle of the road, middle of the line voters, your average mom and pop, your average soccer mom and stuff like that, who is not into politics at all, could care less about politics, but still wants to vote, was turned off by some of the things that Trump has done. And with this stuff going on now, whether it's a sham trial, I look at more as of hypocrisy. They can put Trump on trial for this that happened years and years and years ago, but yet there's other things that's happened on the Democrat side that you don't even hear about charges or going to court for. That's part of that. And again, I don't want to get into the whole politics of this. I don't plan on discussing it much more. That's for sure. But I am just more worried about what is going to happen with crypto over the next 4 years and what's going to happen with our economy. Because if we can't afford to buy in the crypto and can't afford to get into crypto projects, that affects the crypto world. As I go through the car wash, I just want to finish this. And my other concern is getting this country back together. Right now, this country is so divided, it's crazy. And I don't see either president do that. So I just wish there was a nominee that could come forward that could do that. All right, finish with our car wash. I'm sure it's a little quieter. So that's my other thing, is it's this separation, this splitting of this country can't keep going on either. And I want to see some repairing, mending, whatever you want to call it, come together. And out of all the Republicans they got out here in this country, I just can't believe that Republicans are willing to take that chance. While I do say he has a very, 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 very strong following, somebody needs to be also in that middle part. And I don't know. I know Democrats personally who don't want to vote for Biden. And I've always said, I made no secret, I am a conservative first. I know some people, liberals, might not care for that, but it is what it is. I'm a conservative first. And I look at the Republican Party right now and I just shake my head. Like, I'm not, so I don't want nobody to think that I'm automatically Republican or anything like that. It's nothing like that. I don't know. I'm very worried about this election. One thing I will say over and over again is, in Louisiana, it don't matter who I vote for. I can go vote for RFK just because he was pro-crypto before it was a cool thing. There's a lot of tweets that are showing up right now from President Trump, just 3-4 years ago, about how anti-Bitcoin he was. And now all of a sudden, when he needs all these people's support, he's pro-crypto when it's the cool thing to do. At least with RFK, he was at consensus. I wish I would have went to see him talk. But, again, my vote don't count here. In some of y'all states, every single vote counts, and y'all have to get out and vote. Have to get out and vote. I believe everybody should vote. People have lost their lives. Like I said it on my live stream Thursday. People lost their lives to give us the right to vote. People lost their lives for Americans to be able to vote, for women to be able to vote, for minorities to vote. People lost their lives to get to give y'all that right. And the fact that some of these elections, even these big elections, only 55-60% of these people vote, is to me very sad. Some countries don't get a chance to go vote. They just get told that this is what's happening. So, well, I'm at my other building where I gotta go see if this SDR is fried, and I might continue it when I get inside to let y'all know if I find this SDR fraud or not. Because if I find a fraud, I'm done with these green ones, and then I don't know what I'm gonna go to be honest with you. I've had some good results with the blue flight awares. I got one right here actually. The problem with this is these are more expensive by the time you put shipping with them. They take twice, if not 3 times as long to come in. Where, like I said, Amazon's 2 days, but I can tell you, the other one from Amazon, the other blue one that they have, ADSB Exchange, so far, you know, the results haven't been that great with it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. You know, nothing can be easy. So let me get inside, work on this, and maybe I'll give you all a little update before I close out the video. Well, guys, as luck has had it, as my luck always does, I can say that my SDR was fraud. The light didn't even turn on. So put in the blue SDR that I showed y'all earlier, and immediately this has been my result so far. So 135 aircraft on a Saturday, I don't think it's that bad. You know, there's a lot less aircraft during the weekends. 1,400 messages, 13,000 positions so far, 122 with positions right now. I don't think that's bad. And I haven't even gotten into any of the scripts to check noise or levels. I don't even know what, I know I played around with the gain yesterday trying to get that SDR working. So I don't even know what gain this is at right now. So I'm not going to really start messing with this just yet. This has only been running for 15 minutes, but currently with this, I've always, I know I'm getting off on one of my tangents and I'm sorry, just bear with me. Yeah, people who come into the Discord who respectfully know a lot about RF, You can over-engineer these simple projects. This is a simple project. You're going to take your stick, you're going to put an antenna on top of your house. And yes, are there way better sticks than this one or the blue one we're using? Absolutely. You have sticks that cost over $100 a piece. Then you have to buy a cavity filter or some kind of good filter for $70 to $100. Then an LNA that you're going to need for that super duper USB SDR that we talk about is going to be another $60, $70, $80. Next thing you know, you're looking at $300 for just that equipment alone before you go to antenna. If you want to do it the right professional way. How many more aircraft are you going to get out of that? You don't know what this is compensating yet. So for those who saw the back and forth going on in Discord, the gentleman is right. You don't want a double filter. These already have a filter. There's no reason to add another cavity filter. But when the results are showing an improvement, I know, you know, the books say you shouldn't be double filtering, but when you're getting a better result, or you get nearly the same result now that you're getting with some of these other setups, that to me, you just have to balance that kind of stuff out. And I keep replying back to him and other people and start asking these questions about those extravagant setups. You're right. We can really nitpick some of these things and go way broad, way up. But the average person who's starting into these Wingbits projects is not looking for that. I'll talk like about one of these setups. You got 200 aircraft on a Saturday. Now, could there be a few more planes somewhere on the outside right here that we're missing? I'm not saying there's not, but at some point, you start getting to some of these more professional setups, then you spend that kind of money. And how much are you really going to add? If you're only adding 10 aircraft, is that compensation going to be worth it? But, when you go up in here and maybe you start gathering more, and I don't know. And my plan is eventually at one point to get at least one station with this super duper SDR everybody talks about. I already got the cavity filter. I keep asking people, which LNA do they prefer? Everybody keeps saying about these great LNAs, but nobody can actually point me out to the correct right LNA professional upgraded model that everybody talks about. But, I might do a video strictly about this, is kind of cautioning some people, because, and my fear is, the reason I keep talking about this is because I'm watching these people who are coming in new, who are seeing these conversations and thinking that they got to start buying all this kind of stuff like that when they have no idea what kind of results they're going to get. And I keep saying, I subscribe to the KISS method. You're keeping it simple. And to start out, just get the basic and start out with that and see what it looks like and see what your results are. Make sure the antenna's outside. Now, my big thing is I just don't know what SDR. I have to buy at least 3 of them right now for host stations. And I'm telling you, I have no idea what I'm buying. I'm trying to get at least 1, if not 2 of them set up this week. So if I start buying the blue one from FlightAware, they're not going to come in time. I'm not buying any more green ones. I'm not happy with this blue one. As of right now, this looks like, again, as of today, June 1st, this always changes. This looks like what I'm going to have to start going to. You know, this is like $40 a piece. So that doesn't sound too bad. But then you also have to add shipping. So I need 3 of these right now. So you're looking at $130 with shipping. And again, even for order today, which is Saturday, I'm not getting it in this week. But overall, the price isn't going to be that bad. Because even with me ordering 3, shipping's still $10 from me, where if I was ordering 1, it'd be $10. Where ordering 3 of these, you're looking at $150, but it will be here tomorrow on a Sunday. But I'm not buying any more of these. I'm done with it. You can see where I bought 18 of these for me personally. And what I was doing is if I was helping somebody, I would have them order everything basically and ship it straight to their house so I wouldn't have to bring it. So I'm telling you right now, we probably have, I'm going to say 25 of these, maybe close to 30 in circulation. And I've lost probably, since I've started with playing with these a year ago, I've probably lost 4 of them. And some I lost within 30 days and they would easily get swapped out. You lose this one, something happens to it. I don't even know if there's any kind of warranty or anything like that on it. I don't know. This is the one I'm testing now at the tower. I'm not happy with it at all. I really hoping this was going to save the day. It's a metal one. People on Discord were saying, get the metal one. Right now, my testing has not really overwhelmed me. I mean, it's not like wowed me. So I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know. I think for the people who are easy, some people want the easier Amazon thing. And look, this isn't about me having links underneath or anything like that. It's about some people like me. When I'm ready to do a project, I'm impatient. I want my stuff tomorrow. Amazon Prime has spoiled me. I'm sorry. And I don't want to wait a week and a half for some of my products. But I don't know. I'm gonna give this one more of a shot, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So in closing, it's been a long video and I apologize. You know, some driving now back in the office and doing this kind of stuff like that. So I got another video I want to work on that somebody wants me to do. And it's just busy times, busy projects, everything like that. Actually, I just got a text from my guy who has my deer head mounted. $500. It wasn't supposed to be ready for another 2 months. Now he's got it ready, and I got to come up with $500, man. See how that's how life is. Oh, sure. I'm glad I bought that Solana at $8. That's for sure. But I got to buy the stuff for three host stations right now. Always something. That's why I need these projects to start going to mainnet and help a brother out a little bit, you know. But anyway, I hope my politics didn't throw everybody off. I hope I kind of explained it. I'm looking for what's best for the nation, what's best for crypto in general. And I could care less who really people vote for or anything like that. And, you know, we got to do what's right for each other. Other than that, I hope everybody has a good weekend. It is 1:30 p.m. here in South Louisiana. My trusty Weather XM station says it's 87.6 degrees. and with 102 heat index. Well, the underground has some stations saying it's 89 with 110 heat index. And I got to go home and do some yard work. So, you know, it's only actually humidity has come down some. This morning when I was on my way to Baton Rouge, humidity was 91%. Right now it's at a nice brisk 80% humidity. For those who use the wrong type of measurements, that's about 31.6 degrees Celsius. Quick joke is, when I used to do Uber and stuff years ago to help pay for my daughter's travel, people want to know what it was like living with all this humidity. And if you've seen the Facebook meme also, but basically, if you think about taking a very hot shower in the morning and without toweling off and drying off, throw your clothes on and walk outside, that is what it's like living in Louisiana with 100% humidity sometimes in the summertime in the heat. You can take a shower before work, get dressed, and women get all prettied up and get their hair fixed up and their makeup done and everything, and walking through the parking lot to get to your car, or when you get to the office, walking through the parking lot to get to the office, your hair fell down, your makeup started running, and you're soaking wet basically just from the humidity. I've been to Arizona before when they had Las Vegas in these same type of conditions, but with less humidity. I'm telling you, people are right when they say a dry heat is different and it's not as miserable. But again, this is June 1st, first day of hurricane season. So that's always a fun time down here also. So get a hurricane this year. Y'all get some very interesting videos. Y'all get to see if my Wingbit stations hold up. Hey, they held up during Hurricane Ida. We had 100-mile-an-hour sustained winds for a long time for Hurricane Ida. And most of my stations stayed up without an issue. Especially my Helium, that was my Helium stations back then with those layered antennas that everybody said I was crazy for getting, and yet no problems. So that's it. Thank y'all for following. Everybody, thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up button on this. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please go to the Grumpy Dad Outdoors. I've been texting somebody back and forth about getting a fishing video together for that channel. So I got a lot of stuff going to go on with that. Make sure you do the Twitter thing right there. It's always backwards. Grumpy Dad 56 on X, and so y'all can see anything I'm following and see what happens next. It's always an interesting thing. See y'all later.